Hi everyone, Max from Independent Lifestyles here. We're doing another exercise video for you guys today. This will be a mostly chair-based exercise routine, a lot of upper body work and a little bit of lower body work if you're able to do it. Just a heads up, our typical disclaimer here, before you start an exercise routine, always make sure that you check with your physician. Do not continue with the routine if it is causing you pain. Obviously, you should experience a little bit of discomfort, burning, that kind of thing. It just is a sign that your muscles are working. Anytime when you're pushing your muscles, they're going to be a little bit uncomfortable. But if it's causing you a sharp burning pain, don't continue. Always do your workouts to your best ability, to your full range of motion that you're able to do. Some people may have some disabilities or, limited range of motion that limits their ability to complete a full movement. However, just do it to your best ability. Also, do not go too fast or strain yourself. Discontinue the workout if you're feeling too winded, if you're feeling lightheaded or dizzy. Take a break, reset, come back to it later. All right, everyone. So for this simple chair routine, we will be using a little bit of weights. We will be using some soup cans, readily available. Most people have these at their house. These are just 14.5 ounces each, typical soup can weight. If you can go heavier, or if you have some weights, use those. These are just readily available for people to use, so that's why we're using them as an example. So we will start with some warm-up movements to get our muscles going. We're just going to do some windmills, seated position. You can do these standing too. This whole exercise you can do seated or standing. And then back. Getting our shoulders nice and loose. Cross arm, back and forth. This is working our chest, our rear delts, and our middle and front delts as well. Delts are shoulders. Up and overs with our arms just to get everything loosened up. Some neck rolls. Loosen up that back. Some leg kickouts just to get our quads loosened up. Chair-based exercises, you're pretty limited as to your posterior chain engagement. However, we will be using our front of our legs, which is our quads, and our calves as well with this lower body portion of this chair workout. If you can do this seated, that's great. You can also do it standing. So first movement that we're going to do are lat raises, lateral shoulder raises. So if you want to do them empty-handed, that's great. That's what this is going to look like, empty-handed. Otherwise, we have our soup cans here. So when you have weights and you're doing lat raises, typically what you want to do is you want to come up to about parallel with the ground. You don't want to be up here necessarily. There are places for that movement, but we're not going to do that today. These are just standard lat raises. When you get to the top, make sure that your thumbs are at least parallel with the ground. So the cans actually will be at a slight angle relative to the ground. They won't be flat. Otherwise, your thumb is going to be actually down towards the ground. That causes a lot of strain on your rotator cuff, and it can cause an impingement inside of your shoulder. Impingements are very painful. I've had a couple throughout the years. So when we come up, we're going to have our thumbs parallel to the ground, okay? So your hand will actually be kind of cocked up and back a little bit. So that's going to look like this, and we're going to keep coming up and down, up and down. Nice, slow, controlled reps. We're not going to be herky-jerky. That's a good way to get yourself hurt. So typically with these exercises, we aim for a rep range of 8 to 12 reps per set. So we will do 8 to 12 reps of these, nice and slow, squeezing at the top, squeezing our shoulders. Try to limit your trap engagement here and just go nice and slow. Lighter weight always helps with limiting the trap engagement and isolating your shoulders. So there we have it. We're going to do that 8 to 12 reps, 3 sets of that, okay? Next up, we have a chest press out. So we're going to go like this. Make sure that you're in a nice sturdy chair. You don't want too much flex or, rocking to the chair. You want a strong base. We're going to lean back up just a little bit. And we're going to take our cans, push them together like this. So they're squeezed. I'm going to squeeze with my chest, keep my elbows in, tight against my body, And I'm going to push my hands together with these cans. And then I'm going to go up and out at about a 45-degree angle. And this is really going to pump my chest up. Going to work the top portion of my chest up here, not so much the bottom, but it's going to activate my outside of my chest with the squeezing motion, and then the top of my chest by pushing up and out. So it's also going to activate your front delts, the front of your shoulders a little bit as well. So we're just going up and out, up and out. Don't squeeze too hard, or else you'll get this kind of thing with the cans and you might hurt your fingers. So a nice tight squeeze, but don't try to crush the cans in between your hands. Up and out, up and out. Okay. 8 to 12 reps for another 3 sets. After that, we're going to do some overhead tricep extensions. So typically with these, what we try to do is we will take one can or one heavier object. All right, I had to adjust the camera so you guys could see a little bit better, but after that chest press out, we are going to transition to an overhead tricep extension. I've got a little bit heavier weight here. You can still use the soup cans or any other type of weight that you have. So I'm going to take, this is just a bottle of laundry detergent. It's something we all have readily available. I'm going to take it in between my hands like this, and a nice sturdy grip. I mean, you can grab onto the handle or whatever as well. Just make sure that your hands are together. They're not stacked like this, holding it, the handle, or anything like that. They have to be kind of together to make sure that our triceps are equally engaged. So we'll take it over our head like this. Again, sitting in our chair, nice strong back, core is engaged to help support. We're going to kind of hold our diaphragm in, take a deep breath in with every rep, use that pressure to maintain core stability as we press up. So that looks like this. My elbows are stacked even with my shoulders. They're not out like this, winging it, and they're not super far in like this over my head. They are nice and even with my shoulders. So again, nice strong frame of your core, elbows even with your shoulders, and your hands are behind your head. Side view looks like this, okay? And I'm going to press up like this, just like that. Okay? And again, you can do this with a can. I'm just using a little bit more weight to kind of show you guys how engaged it can be. And again, you can do all of these exercises standing or seated. Another option for this, if you really want to go heavier and maybe you just have a gallon of milk at home, is to use a towel and combine these. So I'm going to take this towel, wrap it through the handles like this, so you can see the towel's wrapped through, and I'm using my hands to hold the towel. A good thing to remember if you are in need of heavier weight, a gallon of liquid always equals 8 pounds. So a pint is a pound the world around. There are 2 pints to a quart.